Of two halves. I think what was evident is that we were up against a team that's a lot of energy, very direct in the way that they play, 4-4-2, look to search behind, good runners behind, and around that, what you have to be able to do is keep the ball well enough. And in a first half period, I thought our ball retention wasn't good enough, which made it difficult for us. In the times when we could change the play, which was when you've got a team that you're playing against in 4-4-2 narrow with high energy, then the travel of the ball has got to be quicker. So I didn't think we was good enough on the ball in the first half period. Second half, of course, better, but the game opens up. The game opens up, and I think we were able to capitalise then on the spaces, and then it becomes the job then to score goals. And of course, we entered the final third a lot more in the second half than what we did in the first half. But either perhaps a lack of quality at times saw us not get opportunities. I think you have to credit them. I think they defended very well in their moments. But we had to make more of the possession that we had, and particularly the possession we had in the final third.
Right, before my colleagues come in, quick one, can you give an update on Kudus, and then if there are any injuries as well, you can touch on for clarity.
Yes, so probably four with Inaki. Inaki had, before he joined us a touch later than we wanted to. He had an illness at home. He's fine now, but he's obviously missed a good period of training, and I think has only had 2 days training with us. Semenyo was ill yesterday. We thought he couldn't train yesterday. We were monitoring to see how he was today. There was no change today, so that excluded him from the game. Salis picked up a knock in training yesterday, which meant that he couldn't be involved in the squad today. And with Kudus, we've been in regular communication with him and his club. He does have an injury. He is recovering from that injury and will join us tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes.
Your name, Miguel, please.
My name is John Nchibosiakon. I'm representing Tech FM plus Ghana Web 2. Coach, will you admit that fans always play massive role in terms of contemporary football? But look at Dede and Richmond Lamptey. You know, they are from Kumasi and the supporters love them. You think that they coming on could have energized the supporters base for you to get a goal?
No, it's a good point, and I understand. This I understand. What I have to do is I have to make decisions in the game about which changes that I want to make. Certainly as regards Richmond, we know where he plays, and I understand the question. He's in the squad for the first time. We're delighted to have him in the squad, but I have to make these decisions, the same decisions I have to make with Andre coming in, or Ashimiro, the timing that he comes, and what effect that they can have on the game. And probably from a technical point of view, I think that the fact I brought Ashimiro on at the time that I brought him on, I wanted perhaps a more defensive player to stay on the pitch, just to give us that balance, because I knew I would be changing the front two, and I knew I'd be changing the two wide players. So it was for me just to have that one, what I regard as a defensive midfield player. But I understand the question.
So So we'll take 3 more questions. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Then we are done. So Blankson.
Coach Ajekum Blankson from Part TV. Coach, what else I have noticed about your team, and I asked you the same question when we play against Liberia at the Accra Sports Stadium. Your team always play best game in the second half. In your first half, you always don't come to the party. And you told me that you are going to work on it, but I have not seen the changes as at now. You are going to AFCON.
Yes, and I would agree with you on today's performance. Yeah, exactly. You know, this is not something that we plan. You know, and I know that when the score at half time is you drawing or you are losing the game, then of course there has to be more urgency to get back into the game. But you are right, we've had a lot of performances where the change in personnel, we've benefited from that change in personnel. Sometimes it's not such a problem, providing the end result is the correct result. And sometimes it's not a bad thing to stay in games. If I'm looking at the pluses from today, still, even though we didn't score, we didn't play so well in the first half period, we didn't concede. And as long as I think we always feel that if we can stay in the game, if we haven't played particularly well, and we can stay in the game, we have the players that can change the game, the players that can come on and have an effect offensively in our game. It's not something that we plan. What you said is correct. That overall we have been a better team in the second half than the first half. And I say it's my responsibility and the team's responsibility to enable us to change.
Right. Kelvin?
Oh yeah, I think, sorry, Kelvin, TV3. We've struggled to get in goals, and going into the AFCON, yes, you have a watertight defense, and you need the goals to be well near the games as well. It's the lack of bite up front problematic for you.
Yeah, I think every area that we're not getting as much success as what we would like is always something that can be a concern for us. And probably you are right. If I look at today's performance, I think although the opposition had some half chances, we were relatively solid at the back. Yes, we can only win games by scoring goals, and I don't think at times in some games, in the first half period, the problem wasn't we never got into good enough positions to enable us to create opportunities. Second half we did. I think we got into enough good opportunities, particularly good crossing opportunities, that we needed to benefit from it, and we didn't. So I think it's about sometimes that little bit of composure, sometimes it's about a little bit more aggression once we get into the box, and sometimes it's about getting that extra player in the box. But whatever it is, yes, it's something that we have to be better at if we are going to win football matches.
Yeah. My name is